Westbrook. You love the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me get a hell yeah!
What's going on, guys? What's happening? It is Deibs, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to another edition of Party on Broad. Today, we are talking about Patrick Williams. We're doing a scouting report, talking about his strengths, his weaknesses, and his best fits in the NBA draft. Joining me today is my man, Austin. Follow him on Twitter at KrellTPL. Check out the feed to Embiid covers the Sixers and the general NBA with Brock Landis. What's going on, Austin?
Jobs report came back today. It looks like the economy is on an uptick, a little bit better than we thought it would be.
Yeah, baby.
And that means that my clients are all up in arms. So long day at work. But other than that, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Love to hear it. Also joining us today is my man, Thiago. Follow him on Twitter at TScabia. What's going on, Thiago?
Doing good, man. I just want to apologize up front. I'm going to call Patrick Williams PJ Williams at least 75 times because Florida State does have a PJ Williams who plays cornerback for the New Orleans Saints. So.
You can say the name Patrick Williams 70 times during a podcast. That would also be impressive.
That would be very impressive.
Hey, little shout out to the basketball gods for making the NBA draft during my birthday week. This is my favorite night of the year. Just so happy, man.
How is that going to play out for the household?
I have no idea. Either way, it ends bad. Either way, it ends with a lot of Tito's and a lot of snacks and a lot of weight gain, but it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's talk about Patrick Williams. According to Rivals, Patrick Williams was a 5-star recruit out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He was the 20th best recruit in the nation and third best small forward recruit in the country. Williams received offers from Arizona, Virginia, Louisville before committing to Florida State in November of 2018 from high school. Dude, this guy had a ton of hype coming to Florida State. He kind of followed a similar path to ex-Seminole Jonathan Isaac and Malik Beasley. Williams averaged 9.2 points and 4 rebounds in 22 and a half minutes his freshman season. He was a key reason why Florida State was 16-4 and on top of the ACC before the season was suspended. He was named All-Freshman as well as Sixth Man of the Year. From blocks, steals, shooting, Patrick Williams showed he can impact the box score on all levels. Jonathan Isaac all over again. And then on March 26th, Patrick Williams announced that he will enter the NBA draft. In a statement, he said, "I decided to do it because I think my game isn't NBA ready, but I have the potential to be NBA ready." And I think that's a really good summary of what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right, so that really is it. So according to most scouts, Williams is projected to be a mid to late first-round pick. Let's talk about, oh my gosh, I almost called him Jonathan Isaac. Let's talk about Patrick Williams' strengths, not PJ Williams. Go ahead, Thiago.
Yeah, it's going to be a long pod with all these names going around. Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on it right there, first and foremost, when you quoted him as saying that his game is not NBA ready yet. When you watch Patrick Williams, I mean, the guy screams potential. And for me, that potential stands out primarily on the defensive end. So you're talking about a guy who has tremendous athleticism, tremendous length, and a guy who can, I see in the future as a multi-positional defender, and perhaps even a guy who can, if his body fills out, can be like a stretch 5 kind of player in the NBA. But right now, if you watch him, he's got really, really good awareness off the ball. He's able to rotate, protect the rim when the defense breaks down. He had a 5.6 block percentage, which is pretty good for kind of a wing type player. And if you watch him on the ball, like his athleticism and his length plays out really, really well. He loses on that first step against a quicker guard, but he can quickly recover and attack the ball, block, deflect the shot. So I think right now, if you're looking at Patrick Williams, you're looking at a guy who can at least come in and give you some energy and defense, instant defense. But again, it will take time to develop all the other tools that he's talked about in the past. So, yeah, he's a very intriguing athlete for sure.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Austin.
So Patrick Williams, I think, is an interesting prospect for me for sure. I don't really know like what position he plays because, he shot 32% from three, 46-ish from the field. So I mean, there is some offensive development that needs to take place there. But the things that I do like, for his size, he's looking about like 7 rebounds per game. Extrapolate that to the NBA, that I think that translates pretty well. I think overall he's going to be a pretty a very good get. Late in the first round. It depends sort of how that jump shot translates. I think he needs to work on that a little bit. I don't think he's skilled enough yet, from like a versatile standpoint, where it's like he can get away without the jumper like Ben Simmons can. But I do agree. I think he's sort of this mystery, but in like a good way.
Yeah, I really like this kid. He can play in the pick and roll a little bit. He can thrive in the catch and shoot a little bit. But like Thiago said, I'm just going to piggyback off what he said. This guy's a modern NBA wing, modern big. He can defend multiple positions. From the eye test, Patrick Williams kind of checks all the boxes, dude. 6'8", 6'11" wingspan. He had a defensive rating of 94.1 during his freshman season at Florida State, which is pretty freaking crazy. 22.5 steals per 100 possessions, 5.6 blocks percentage, 5th best in the ACC, 4.8 defensive box plus minus, 10th best in the ACC. So the ability to defend the 3 and the 4 spots, that's a real value. That's a real commodity in the NBA. So, even better, he offers some rim protection. So I love that defensive potential in this guy. And let's move on to weaknesses. Go ahead, Thiago.
Yeah, so just one more point of what you're talking about. Our man Brock just sent out an awesome article about Ben Simmons' defensive versatility.
Yes.
And you're talking about in the modern NBA, you're going to want guys who can defend multiple positions. And he's definitely one of those guys. So if you're picking like in the top 15, I mean, why not take a shot on a guy like that? Something that can really pay off right away on the defensive end. So I think, teams that are thinking forward should be looking at this guy. But the weakness for me is just he seems very passive at times. And I don't know if that's a function of the team makeup. He plays with a lot of senior guys, a lot of experienced guys at Florida State. But a lot of times just saw him standing around. A lot of times he's had adventurous matchups, but just didn't take his guy down low or didn't attack the rim. And when he does attack the rim as a cutter, like he's legit. He's big, he's strong, he can finish at the rim. But oftentimes for me on the rebound, the attacking the glass, he really stood for me as a very passive guy. So I would like to see more aggressiveness for him in the NBA for sure.
What about you, Austin?
I think he's a little bit turnover prone for sure. He averaged 3 per 40 at the collegiate level. So I mean that's going to be an issue. I was out of the frame there.
Go back.
I think this schedule was sort of favorable for Florida State this year. But I think overall very solid prospect. Turnovers, want to keep that down. Maybe that means less dribbles to create a shot. Maybe just relegate him to a catch and shoot 3-and-D guy for now.
Yep.
But again, you got to bring that 3-point percentage up.
Yeah, I look at experience, man. Patrick Williams is just a super raw prospect, especially on offense. He obviously has a huge advantage in size in the NCAA, but this dude only scored 13 times in double digits. Similar a little bit to Jonathan Isaac. This is a guy that you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to draft and not stash so much, but you're gonna have to wait for this guy to adjust to the speed of the NBA, develop his body, develop all that comes with it. So while he has the tools, this dude definitely needs to learn the nuances of the NBA game, and that becomes, I think if at the high ceiling for this guy is a pick and roll guy, he needs to become a better roller in that pick and roll. And Let's talk about best fits. I see this guy as a mid to late first round pick. Thiago, who do you think in the NBA draft is the best fit for Patrick Williams?
So I'm not going to say the best fit, but I think this is a fit that needs to happen. I want Patrick Williams in the Orlando Magic. And the reason why I say that is if you just look at the Orlando Magic roster right now, you could theoretically have a lineup of Markelle Fultz, Iwandu, Patrick Williams, Jonathan Isaac,
Ridiculous.
and Mo Mamba, who I don't even know if it's still in the league or not. But I think a lineup like that could absolutely break the NBA. You talk about length at every step of the court in every position.
Wingspan for days.
Wingspan for days, exactly. And they will literally win games by like 50 to 45, which I think needs to be a thing in the next year for the NBA. So I don't know if it's a great fit, but I would love to see Patrick Williams in the Magic uniform.
Go ahead, Austin.
I think this guy screams OKC Thunder.
Nice.
Very versatile. The size is there, can defend. I think the Thunder are very good with wings and 3-and-D type players and developing those guys. They have Terrence Ferguson. They, I guess for now, have Gallinari. They'll probably lose him in free agency, but and they had Jeremy Grant. I think he fits really well in Oklahoma City.
God, I mean, I have a fit here that is absolutely perfect, and you guys didn't tell me. The Toronto Raptors, man.
I knew that was coming. I knew it, man.
Come on.
I know you like a book.
I know.
The
Back of my hand.
The Toronto Raptors need big men. They have Marc Gasol, Ibaka, Fred VanVleet. These guys are all hitting the open market next year, and they're looking to add size. They have a pick at the end of that second round, but I think do they have the pick? I don't know. But Williams' two-way ability and his real ability to function in the pick and roll, dude, is such a good fit for the Toronto Raptors, man. I love the potential of Patrick Williams learning behind Pascal Siakam, one of my favorite players in the NBA. I think if all things kind of line up, this guy is going to be headed to the Toronto Raptors. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on this guy? Go ahead, Thiago.
Yeah, I specifically wrote on my notes when I was watching him, if there's one guy they're going to compare Pascal Siakam to, it's going to be Patrick Williams in the draft. So it's funny you mentioned that. I actually saw a little bit of it. He's a lot more fluid than a lot of these long athletic guys that are out there right now. So yeah, it was interesting you mentioned that.
Go ahead, what's that?
How about Jason Tatum?
Yeah. I mean, just kind of a tall wing that can defend multiple positions. Absolutely. I don't think he's obviously got the offensive talent, to score an ISO and shoot. But here we are. Make sure you follow Thiago on Twitter @TScabia. Check out Krell TPL on Twitter. He is Austin Krell and the host of the Feed to Embiid with Brock Landis. Covers the Sixers and the general NBA. Follow everyone here, obviously, for Thiago, for Austin, for myself. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.
Jordan Moore 2020.
Sixers win it! Wow! Oh man, Embiid just posterized Russell Westbrook. You love the Phillies!